FOS TV is brought to you by the Lion's Den. The Den always has been and always will be about enjoying family and friends in an environment steeped in Happy Valley tradition. So come back to the Den, the perfect place to recall old memories while creating new ones.
Deputy guy, watch the cars. They're right over here.
General assessment?
I think offensively, we left a lot of points off the board. I thought we ran the ball well. We played physical, but I think we've got a lot of improving to do, and I really want the kids to understand that. And we got to do a better job of coaching them up on certain things. I think defensively, we played for the most part an excellent football game. I thought. We created turnovers again. Michael Mauti had 2 interceptions. We rushed the passer. We let him out a few times. He's an athletic kid, and he did a nice job. But overall, we played well. And special teams, I thought, was better than it was against Temple. So overall, good team effort. But still, we got a really good Northwestern team coming in here. So we're going to have to play a lot better than we did today to win that game.
Bill, you mentioned the physical play. Can you talk about specifically the offensive line and the running game?
Yeah, I feel like these guys, this offensive line is getting better every week. I've said that from day one, really. In spring practice, I felt like they were one of the most improved units. They're coached very well. There's great chemistry with those guys. They get along really well, and they care about each other, and they care about their teammates, and they're physical players. And we told them from day one of training camp that we were going to try to be a physical offense, a north and south running team, and they've done a nice job of that.
Mike, old enough to remember Norm Bulash?
I know, no.
Does that even ring a bell?
No.
Yeah. Well, he was the Colts closer, like Zwinak.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, when they needed. See, I'm too old. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Zwinak developing into your maybe your closer in the last quarter.
In this game, I felt like he was the guy that was getting the ball downhill, and he was seeing the cut and running physical. And he's a big kid; he can run. Again, we've got a lot of good backs there. I think Billy did some nice things in the running game too, and Curtis Dukes got in there at the end. Derek Day had a couple nice runs. So you got guys there that are running the football pretty well. But Zwinak is a very physical back and ran the ball well today.
Bill, Mike Mauti had a lot of strong comments at a Big Ten Media Day. How important was it for him to go out there and back everything up on the field?
Well, anytime you have things to say, it's very important to go out there and back it up. I mean, that's kind of what life's all about in a way. And so he's a guy that doesn't have a lot of problems backing things up. He plays extremely hard. He's an instinctive player, and he's a member of a really strong senior class. And we only have 7 more games with him, and that's going to be tough at the end because they mean a lot to me and in this football program.
Bill, how personally satisfying is this win for you?
Well, it's a Big Ten win, Rich. So it's a really big win for us to get off on the right foot in the Big Ten, and these games are not easy, and so this conference is tough, and so anytime you can get off on the right foot in the Big Ten, that's a big deal.
Does what happened with Illinois, does it make it more, how much more satisfying does it make it?
Nah, it's just a Big Ten win. It's a big win, and again, it's it's something that our players really worked hard for, and our coaching staff did, and I thought everybody did a good job, good team win.
Could you talk about the last 20 seconds of the half, Mauti's play, and then going for the field goal there?
Yeah, I actually I thought that the ball was on the 2-yard line, and I knew that if it was ruled down, I knew that they were going to give me a second because they saw where the ball was down and there was a second to go. But I thought it was on the 2. It ended up being on the 1. Hindsight being 20/20, I should have gone for a touchdown there, and I take the blame for that. We got to execute better on the field goal, but on 1-yard line, we got to be able to punch it in there, and I thought it was a little bit deeper than that. So
would you have run Mauti at all, just to try to
run him? Nah, he probably wouldn't know the play, but that's not a bad idea.
They're on paper, their defensive front should have been the strength of their team.
Yeah.
Your offensive line really never even gave them a step. I know you already talked about the offensive line, but that was a big point in the game, wasn't it, for your offensive line to get an advantage right away on this?
Yeah, the strength of Illinois does have a good defensive front. They're athletic, they're strong, but our guys played tough. I think, pass protection at times was a little bit of an issue, but some of that was blitzing. It wasn't always our offensive line. I thought that they played a very, very good, tough, physical game against it. We challenged them, Dave. We challenged them all week and told them that this was the strength of the Illinois team, and these kids are, so far, for the most part, they've been up to the challenge.
Bill, what about the performance of your defense overall, not just the turnovers, but how you stop them?
Yeah, these guys, to me, they're a good defense. They're coached well. They understand the schemes. They play well as a unit. They communicate really well. They tackle well for the most part. I think they're making plays on the ball a little bit better than we were early in the year. They're doing a decent job on third down. So they're getting better every week, kind of like our football team. So that's all you can ask right now is just to have your football team going this way and not this way and not that way. So, I think they're doing a good job.
You managed to kind of keep this Beckman thing on the outside, but it looks like the players didn't keep it on the outside. Like they had an incentive to make you happy. Is that accurate?
Again, I just, again, I've said my piece on that in the summertime. The sanctions are what they are. The people that recruited our kids, they played within the rules. But at the end of the day, we came here today and played a good football game against a tough team, and you guys can figure the rest out.
Okay. How about the shot? Lehman took a real shot there and came back. Can you talk about that in his game?
Yeah, the one on the touchdown?
Yeah,
he took a shot there. He got the wind knocked out of him. I thought it was maybe a concussion deal there, but he really just got the wind knocked out of him there, so I think he's going to be all right. He actually played after that, so I think he'll be all right. But he had a decent game. He did some good. He's getting better every week, which is good to see. He's got to play with better pad level. He's a big, tall kid, but he catches the ball well, and he's understanding our offense better every week.
You lined Kyle Carter up as a fullback a couple times and rolled him out. When you can have that kind of versatility from a big guy, what does that do for your offense?
Yeah, that's something that we've always done. In this system, we've always taken that F, and he's been somewhat of a wide receiver, somewhat of a tight end, somewhat of a fullback. And it takes a smart kid, it takes an athletic guy, and that's what Kyle is. So we just, instead of changing personnel to get that play in, why not just put him there and do some of those things that a traditional fullback would do, especially with Zordich kind of being, not as healthy today.
To people who don't see a guy like Carter, is he like, who would you compare him to in the NFL? Anquan Bolden, somebody like that, that role?
Well, he plays the position that Aaron Hernandez plays. I'm not comparing him to Aaron Hernandez, but he plays that position, so he can do. He's a much different player. He's a long player. He's sort of like a basketball player playing football with tough. He's got toughness. He's got good hands. He can jump. He's smart. He's instinctive. Like he made those 2 plays against Temple on that 2-minute drive at the end of the half, where he kind of reversed course and changed his route and got us down to the 1-yard line. And so he's just a young player who's got a really bright future for us. Made a great catch on the sideline over there on a back shoulder throw, picked it off his shoelaces, and that was a really nice play.
Bill, what did McGloin do better in the second half?
I think the biggest thing was he if I remember correctly, he didn't take stupid sacks, and part of that was play calling too. So when I say stupid, I mean stupid play call, and then you got to make me look right by throwing the ball away. And I thought he did a nice job of that. He's a very smart player, and when I make a stupid play call, he made me look better in the second half.
What do you think Bill Belton looked in his return today?
I thought he looked good. I did. We had the plan to roll guys in there, and I thought I'm gonna have to watch the tape, but I thought Billy looked decent today.
Do you know how Obing is?
I think that was a cramp, so I'm not sure. I just think it was a cramp.
How much of that hurry up do you think took a little bit out of them wind-wise? It seemed like it did.
Yeah, I think you can kind of sense that on the sideline when you're in, whether I was in New England or here at Penn State, you can kind of get a sense of the defense maybe being winded or not communicating, not being able to get lined up, and you just keep going with it. It's like fast break in basketball. Just keep running it, and they're basically simple plays that can get communicated really quickly. So that's what we ended up doing a decent job of that today.
Hey Bill, 3 weeks ago you were at Virginia. It was a tough loss.
Yeah.
You guys 0-2 start. Can you just talk about the strides you guys have made the last 3 weeks to kind of turn the season, at least for now, around?
Yeah, we felt like the first 2 games we made a lot of mistakes, and we know we were a better team than that, and the kids came back and they practice every day, Bob. I mean, these kids, they practice really hard. They take the coaching, and so we knew that if we stopped turning it over and converted on third down and stopped teams on third down, that we would be a better football team, and hopefully we keep improving.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bill.